Black people, their religion is their blackness. You didn't hear me. When that mother of the church left the church during the days of Obama, and so I called her, and I said to her, you left the church? She said, yes, Pastor. She said, you're not for Obama. I said, but Obama believes in abortion, killing of babies in the womb. And mother, I believe he's a Muslim. He got a Muslim name. And he's raised up in that. Listen, United Church of Christ under Jeremiah Wright was nothing but a mosque with a Christian name on it. That was a mosque. That was a black nationalist mosque. Jeremiah Wright, where Oprah Winfrey went. And he spent 20 years there. No Christian would spend 20 years there with that. But she said, but he's black, Pastor Manning. He's black. And we black people got to stick together. Bam, she hung up the phone.
You know how I talk about there's this triumphant in the black community. How you have the church plants, the black Greek organizations at the top. You have the entertainers and athletes on one side. Then you have the politicians and the media on the other. And their main agenda is to keep black people voting for the Democratic Party, to keep black people enslaved to the Democrats. That's what they are there for, to keep black people enslaved to the Democratic Party. That is their main purpose, to keep black people agitated and a victim mindset. And they worship the God of blackness. That's how the Democratic Party, the Marxists, the communists, and the liberals utilize church plants, the paraministry of the Democratic Party in the black community to keep black people enslaved. At the head of that in terms of the church plants is this pastor right here, Freddie Haynes in Texas. He's mad because Donald Trump's inauguration is on the day that we recognize Martin Luther King.
That's exactly where we are as a people. We taking some L's, and the L's have been hell. Think about it. The backlash to the second Reconstruction, the civil rights movement, has been so fierce and ferocious that for the last 50 years, they've been doing everything in their power to undo what took place during the civil rights movement. Y'all did not get that, but understand, as soon as they passed the voting rights bill, those in the South began to conspire as to how they could weaken the franchise, and as a consequence, we had the gutting of the Voting Rights Act by the Supreme Court at the beginning of this decade. On top of that, my sisters and brothers, it has gotten worse as we've looked at a Supreme Court that basically has ruled that Uncle Clarence Thomas is able to get as much money as he can from his sugar daddy, Harlan Crow, right here in Dallas. And in spite of the contradictions and how it undermines democracy, he is now free. Wait, I'm not even done. The Supreme Court, on top of that, said, women, you are not in control of your body. We will come into the doctor's office with you and tell you what to do with your body. Wait, I'm not done. Then they ruled just this past session that we now have a king who is going to be inaugurated on January the 20th. I gotta stop right there because that makes me mad as hell to think about the fact that on Monday, January the 20th, which is the celebration of the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr., you're going to have this man put his hand on a Trump Bible, which he's never read, and promise to tell the whole truth, which he's never done. No, I got that confused. He's going to promise to protect and uphold the Constitution, which he has broken time and time again on the birthday celebration of Dr. King. That's an L.
You know, that church consists of a bunch of people that claim to know Jesus, but they don't. They worship the God of blackness. They're church Negroes. They're not Christians. How else do you explain them cheering what he's saying? He's lying. He's spewing political talking points. People have always known their inauguration is going to be on January 20th. That's why you had Ricky Smiley out here celebrating the potential of having Kamala Harris, and AKA being sworn in by Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Supreme Court Justice, who's a Delta, on the Martin Luther King holiday.
In the net, you got a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated reading in a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated into the White House. What's wrong with y'all?
Come on, man.
MLK holiday.
But y'all mad because she ain't talking about reparations.
Who was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated?
Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on, man. But your people don't know that. They're ignorant to that, and you know they're ignorant to that, so you're going to continue to push and spew these lies from the pulpit because you worship the God of blackness. You're preaching from the blackness Bible, essentially. But you would think that him being a pastor would preach the gospel, the truth of the gospel, but he doesn't. He preaches the social gospel, his black liberation stuff. And he's a shield for the Democratic Party. Yeah, this guy, Freddie Haynes, he's over what is called the Black Church PAC, the Political Action Committee, right? And you would think if it's associated with the black church, it'll be nonpartisan. No, it is not. So this is from the Federal Election Commission. And you see, you would think the Black Church PAC would receive donations from a nonpartisan organization. But no, check this out. Act Blue. Act Blue is the fundraising arm of the Democratic Party. That's why I say dudes like Freddie Haynes and these black pastors are paid to manipulate you, are paid to keep you voting for the Democratic Party. And this is just in the past 2 years. A lot of Act Blue. A lot of Act Blue. And look down here. Oh. Is that Pastor William Murphy? I'm not surprised by that. Now, why would Act Blue be so inclined to have these multiple donations to the Black Church PAC? I'll tell you why. Because, like I said, these black churches are there to work for the Democratic Party. They are the paraministry of the Democratic Party. They are there to keep you voting Democrat. That's their sole purpose. These traditional black churches, not the ones that preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, these traditional black churches. Now, as we enter the holiday season, we know a lot of these black Negroes, church Negroes, said they're not going to associate with us. And as believers, we're implored here in Romans 12, verse 17 and 18, repay no one evil for evil. Have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. But see, the sad thing about it is these church Negroes, these church plant pastors and preachers, they don't want to live peaceably with us who are true believers, who just want to serve God, who want to live quiet and peaceful lives to further the kingdom of God. They don't want to live peaceably with us because we are a threat to their money train. We are a threat to their source, their resource. Their source is not God. Their source is the Democratic Party. And so we are a threat to them because as we present the truth of the gospel to more and more people, their eyes are going to wake up to see how they're being manipulated and taken advantage of by these church plant preachers. And while that's sad and disturbing, a separation is taking place. The wheat and the tares are starting to be separated. We must stand firm on the truth of the gospel and make sure that everyone we talk to knows the truth, because we don't want them to be victims, because we're not victims. We are empowered for greatness.